Lo and behold, it came about that the Lord thy God revealed to me moi, that I ain't got much longer to go. There are conditions which could lead to a sudden termination of my amazing life at any moment. Hopefully it won't be a slump into an invalid position. I'd rather go right out. Anyway, this is me basically saying farewell. It's been good to know ya. Never before has one mind embraced so much in its lifetime, and paradoxically been unable to share it with anyone. That's weird, man. Really weird. But then again, some people made a whole life as a celebrity and founded a church or system that continued long after them, just on the basis of a couple of tricks. Like, for example, Moses and Aaron, two conspiratorial brothers, created a whole religion on the basis of some magic tricks. Like, there was a plague that was striking down the people of who had supported the rebels against Aaron's control of the priesthood, right? So Aaron, Moses' brother, is in control of the priesthood and all the secret oral and ritual traditions of Judaism that are not in the Torah written by Moses. So Aaron's the keeper of the secrets, and he uses his rod to stop the plague as he stands between the dead bodies and those remaining rebels against his authority, and he holds up his rod, and behold, no more of the rebels are struck down by the plague. Well, reading that from a modern point of view, two brothers arrange to systematically track down and murder, and then, attribute to a plague, and then they get the remaining rebels gather together and say, you want it to stop now, Aaron will stop it with God's rod. You see? It's show business. Two brothers, like Romulus and Remus, Moses and Aaron. Well, strangely enough, that's how my dad described me in his diary when my brother and I were little. He said I was the brains and my brother was the brawn. He said I'll make the arrows and he fires them. And it's true. As we got into our teens, for example, and this is just one example, I would tell my brother what it was I wanted to obtain possession of a particular paperback book. Either a spy thriller or something along the lines of the Kama Sutra or the Perfume Garden. Anyway, my brother would obtain desired items. He liked to steal. It was good for him to steal and get away with it, until he had his conversion later on and started paying back for some of the things he'd stolen. Anyway, I grew up in a relationship like Moses and Aaron, the two brothers that could agree with each other against all others. Well, we had our time in the wilderness where we both submitted to the guru L. Ron Hubbard because he was helping us to escape the inhibitory control imposed upon us by our parents, who were misguided by the Puritan Church and the British Commonwealth, how to bring up babies, whack them until they become good. Yeah, so yeah, I can totally understand Aaron and Moses. What a double act, Behold, my God will send a plague that will kill the firstborn of every Egyptian, yet it will pass over the children of Israel because they got the mark of the Lamb's blood above the door. Yeah, well, what kind of plague goes around going, oh look, there's a mark above the door, that's a Passover job. Oh look, there's a door without one, in, there's a baby, kill it. What kind of plague could do that? In a world of primitive people that can't read or write and don't even know what strange armed assassins look like. Somebody killed my baby. Oh, that was a plague. You could dress yourself up in a black cloak, couldn't you? Yeah. It is amazing, as one who grew up at the very bottom level of the British Empire, which was ultimately founded on the rock of the Holy Bible, which justified kings and believers in God in controlling and disposing of all the property on the planet on behalf of God, including all the other human beings who were not so closely related to God. The tricks, like the wandering around in the desert, the Jews going, right, God delivered us from slavery to what? Being hungry in the desert. Oh, well, we made a mistake of what? And Moses goes up the top of the mountain where a bush is mysteriously on fire, and when he approaches the bush, behold, he swoons and is spoken to by Yahweh, the God that created the universe and everything in it, and selected the Jews to be the special ones to overcome and eliminate the others. Yeah. So Moses was the only one who claimed to have seen God face to face. His brother Aaron, well, some of the Bible says God spake to Moses and Aaron. So my simple conjecture, with the wisdom of the 21st century philosopher who's got the whole Wikipedia and related internet material at his disposal, my simple conjecture, this great Jewish religion starts off with two cannabis smoking Levites, yeah, agreeing on their own version of the creation of the world, and what God is, and who can be allowed to share the secret. And God gives them divine guidance as to how to prepare an anointing chrism, oil, sacred oil. That is actually, when Aaron is dying, tons of this stuff are put on his forehead and head by Moses, so that he dies in a very heavenly and blissful state of mind when he's about 120. Well, the story is vague because it goes like Moses and Aaron had a few arguments along the way, although they otherwise supported each other's claims to be closest to God. And at the end, when they come close to the promised land, they are greedy. Moses is impatient, and God tells him, just speak to that rock and water will come forth to quench the thirst of all the thirsty children of Israel, right? But Moses is in a hurry, so he whacks the stone with his rod, and then the water comes out. But God is upset because he shouldn't have done that. He was told to just talk to the rock. What a crock of shit made up between Moses and Aaron. Know what I mean? When I hit the rock, you pull the other rock out of the passage so that the water can flow down and come out. See? Prearranged magic, like the sword and the stone. Yeah. Other miracles, God sending forth a flame that consumes the burnt offering and the fat offering. Some form of flame throwing device is used. The flame comes from the secret part of the tent behind the veil, and or let's see it shout out and fall down in awe because God has spoken. You know what I mean? Fireworks. Build a whole 3,000-year religion on it. We are still waiting for a Messiah, or what? Still trying to make up for the sins of all the forefathers because El Arav couldn't agree with El Ijav as to what was the right way to worship God. A lot of nonsense, man. Know what I mean? And keep it secret what is in the oil, and only those that have gone through the proper education can be initiated into the truths of God. And then along comes Jesus and goes, it's in the oil. Oh, right, that's what it's all about. Right. Then make your own moral decisions in life. Talk direct to God. So Jesus is some sort of rebel who's saying, get the healing oil all around the place freely. But that threatens, as always, a big business that's been running for a long while, controlling things and profiting out of other suffering. But whatever Jesus was actually doing or propagating was, of course, edited out shortly after his death, because it's not good business to just put the truth on the streets. So when me and my brother set out in 1986 to liberate cannabis, it was because of a vision that we thought could be time travel. We saw a vision from 1986 of a culture roundabout now in history which was overloaded with heroin and cocaine. Well, We seem to have got it right, but we pushed all that time ago for legalization of cannabis. We did not know how much corruption we were pushing up against. What has happened in the interim is that the corruption has absorbed our push, is providing fake cannabis to people who are disillusioned and losing all that countercultural, apocalyptic, revolutionary, let's sort it out, compassion and love that was formerly associated with cannabis. That's been got out of the picture. Skunk weed is very powerful stuff that if it is genuine, it's very hard to get a supply of it unless you grow it yourself. And that means if you cannot grow it yourself, it is very hard to get hold of any. Because what is available in publicly recognized places for scoring is what is approved of by the local drug squad, and I have checked it out personally. It is now entirely fake here in Bristol at the old day. It is many months since I had a genuine cannabis lift from material purchased on the premises, whereas before I could get one little snash of genuine weed there before there were any notable dealers, so that, you know, somebody could just show up one day. Indeed, that's what happened. A grower my own age sold me a deal there which put me back in the heavenly plane. Above all the travail, Nirvana, yeah, but he wasn't available again because the police have been watching that place and carefully neutralising any genuine ganj that appears there, and leaving Ray and Mark, Yellow, selling short deals of fake cannabis. I don't know what lift young people are getting out of that. It doesn't surprise me that they're going over in great numbers to cocaine, since I have not really approved of cocaine culture since it took over society in the 90s. I don't know what good cocaine fun is actually like, but I am disgusted by the social effects, especially combining it with excessive alcohol. I believe even our legal profession, that's including judges, solicitors and the like, are saturated with alcohol and cocaine. Gosh, what I'm saying is we don't know whether we're any closer to a happy ending, because the idea of spreading the benefits, the true benefits of cannabis, why it has actually increased in use down through the centuries, is because it is useful in attaining the higher subjective states of existence, whether they are dreams of hallucinations or as my mother says, cloud cuckoo land. That is the state of existence most of us would actually prefer to remain in love with life and everything in life, and putting in as much as we expect to take out. Yeah, well, I can't see a lot of people enjoying that recently on cannabis, because if you know, I tried myself many times since the 90s to grow my own. Every one of my attempts was taken over by evil people and terminated, and it's just hard for me to locate a friend that's got real weed. I would imagine that somebody who's growing real psychedelic weed could be very paranoid. It's a delicious feeling, you know. It's like being up there amongst the kings and emperors in history, but knowing that if your bubble is burst by one mistake, you're looking at the inside of one of Her Majesty's prison a lot more ruddly than that reserved for Max Clifford. Well, this ain't the Revelations of St. John. It's just saying, it's anybody's guess what happens now for humanity. I'm living in the centre of a factory of social disease. You know, this is where the beggars and junkies and alcoholics are supported to continue with their bad habits for periods of up to 2 years in what is relatively luxurious, while having no responsibility for creating any kind of life for themselves or doing anything productive to earn all the personal gratifications that they are illegally buying, and all the handout charity that they discard so messily around the society. Help. Wish we could get some real ganj. Then I can really give you the Revelations of St. John. Ha 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 ha. Only joking. What a life. Ciao. Oh, by the way, I still do love you. But then again, when I first got high, I realized this is all in my mind. Bob to Bob. Good night.